Hello and welcome to the Modern Fairy Sightings Podcast, where we listen to people's fairy encounters. But take heed, we're not talking about winged Tinkerbells here. These are real fairies, real encounters that took people like you and I by surprise. Stay a while and hear their stories. My name is Jo Hickey Hall, and I'm a folklore researcher. This podcast is of course free, but to ensure it continues, it does require your support. If you can support the show and its continued research, there are a number of tiers to choose from at patreon.com/the Modern Fairy Sightings Podcast. We have a Discord private discussion group and a monthly live chat, plus regular personal updates behind the scenes. With your support, I hope to dedicate more time to this research and producing fortnightly episodes. Alternatively, you can really help support by subscribing, rating and sharing your favourite episodes with your friends. Thanks. Hello dear listener, I hope you're well. In October 2021, I released episode 23, Consciousness and Playing with Other Realities, which described my healing experience and other adventures. This bonus episode is a follow-up to that, and I had planned to share my understanding of that process. But I'm also aware that many are suffering considerably right now. How are you doing? Everyone is in different places at the moment with this, and we're seeing the world change before our eyes. This continues to be a very unsteadying time, no matter which perspective you take. I'm looking around me and I'm seeing people who are in fear. Many, I can sense, are just right on the edge, just holding it together, and some are really feeling angry too. I have been and continue to manage all of these feelings too, so I'm right there navigating my way through this as well. Fundamentally, there's a great deal of suffering being caused by division at the moment, and I want to talk about how we can counteract that division through the realms of consciousness. First, I'm going to talk you through my understanding of who we are as conscious beings walking around this earth. Then I'm going to offer you another perspective from which to see the division that's taking place, and suggest a means of bridging the differences between us so that we're able to connect with each other on a heart level. I'm no expert in this area, but I can offer what I've learned, and more importantly share my own experiences which have led me to the conclusion that these philosophies make sense. As we know, it's a legal requirement for me to add here that the information I share, including ideas, suggestions, techniques, methods, resources and other materials, are educational in nature, and for medical advice please consult a licensed healthcare professional. So, to begin, I believe we are all beings of infinite consciousness, that we are not just our physical bodies. Each person has a consciousness that some say is infinite. That means part of ourselves may exist elsewhere on other planes of existence. Our physical bodies are just the densest part of ourselves. It's the part that we can see when we look at one another. It's how we manifest on this material plane. Our bodies are the physical manifestation of our consciousness, all that we are. And our consciousness is made up of subtle bodies. These bodies line up one by one outside of our physical body. So we have our physical body, and then outside we have the emotional body, and then outside that we have the mental body, outside that we have the astral body. So I'm going to talk you through all of these. And when we are sensing the world through a different bubble of perception, for instance, it may well be that we are experiencing the world through one of those levels of chakras or auric bodies that we are aligning with at that time. And so we'll talk more about that too. So our physical body relates to the red chakra. Some know this as the root chakra. The next densest level after our physical bodies, as I said, is the emotional body. Now this relates to the orange or sacral chakra. We may not be able to see it, but we can certainly feel it innately from each other. If someone walks into a room who is very angry, for instance, we can immediately feel the mood change, even if we haven't yet observed their body language and they haven't even said anything. And similarly, we can sense the joy or love from someone whom we're near. Sometimes even in a shopping queue, we can sense the different vibes from the people surrounding us, and in that moment we're experiencing their consciousness through our own consciousness. This is important at this time, and we'll talk more about this later on. The next densest part of ourselves is our mental body, relating to the yellow or solar plexus chakra. This is where our thoughts and intellect manifest. These three lower energy bodies and chakras, red, orange and yellow, are the ones we're most attuned to in our modern Western culture. After that is the astral body, related to the green or heart chakra, which is linked with many out-of-body experiences and the astral plane. And then next, the etheric body, relating to the blue or throat chakra, which is the part of our consciousness where we're able to manifest what we need and where thought forms exist. We've all experienced where we've had a specific thought of something we needed or wanted, and it's arrived miraculously a short time later, like we ordered it up from somewhere. Well, we did. Then there's the Buddhic body, where spirit-to-spirit communication takes place. From your deep spirit to another person's spirit, or indeed to another worldly being's spirit. That is in relation to your third eye, indigo chakra. When we see a fairy or some kind of being and somebody else that's with you doesn't, or only a couple of you see it and other people don't, then it's because you are perceiving that energy or being through your third eye. Lastly, there's the soul causal body, which relates to the violet chakra. This is at the very source of your consciousness, where your innermost desires and goals for your life are sourced and play out as such. This is where you feel your connection to the all, and for some people that's God or whatever your belief names that source of all existence. When events in our lives cause tension for us in some way, it often begins in our thoughts. We know that the situation we're in is wrong for us, and the manifestation of that tension is right there in our mental body and in our thoughts. Hopefully we can do something about that situation or change our perspective towards it, which can also free us from it, but if we don't, it moves further in towards the emotional body. Now we're feeling stressed about it as well as thinking about it. At this point, we may leave the situation we're feeling unhappy about or do something about it, but if not, it continues and reaches the physical body where we experience a physical symptom. The area of the body in which that symptom arises will tell us about the area of our lives in which we felt tension. In this way, the body becomes a mirror of our consciousness. So if it's red chakra, also known as the root chakra, anything from the perineum down, legs and leg joints, elimination system, etc., it's issues regarding any of the following: money, home, job, things relating to security and trust, safety and survival, and the relationship with our mother. If it's sacral chakra, which is the orange chakra, this is to do with reproductive organs, assimilation, and its issues also relating to food, sex, sexuality, having children, feelings, sensations, and taste. The solar plexus affects the digestive system and the muscles, so that's at the level of the stomach, and it's the yellow chakra. It's issues relating to power, control, and freedom in your life. It can also relate to intellect and self-definition, how you see yourself, how you think others see you. So if you had a symptom in that area, those are the things that you might want to reflect on to figure out where the tension is coming from. The heart chakra is at the level of the upper chest on the body. It's also known as the green chakra. It relates to our immune system, respiration system, and circulation system, so heart and lungs. Symptoms here reflect tension in your close relationships and the sense of whether you feel loved and accepted. Acceptance is key here, I feel, at the moment in the world. The throat chakra, also known as the blue chakra, affects the throat, thyroid, metabolism, and the shoulders area. So any symptoms regarding those. And this is about setting goals, reaching for what you really want and what you really need, and receiving. And so if symptoms came up there, it would be tensions in those areas. At the level of the third eye, brow chakra, also known as the indigo chakra. It affects the pituitary gland and growth, endocrine system, and anything around the head at that level on the physical body. This chakra represents the deepest spiritual part of who you, your spirit, who you truly are, and whether you're aligning to the deepest part of you in this life. Are you aligning with your deep self to consciously drive this vehicle, this physical body which your spirit has chosen in this lifetime? And lastly, violet chakra, at the top of your head, also known as the crown chakra, the connection to the all, or God, or however you choose to understand it. It's also about whether you feel connected with others, your relationship with authority, and the relationship with your Father. So, by looking at ourselves from this perspective, we can see and understand that there are many layers to our consciousness, and in the same way, what we see in the physical world is also only one layer, the physical layer, and this could explain why we sometimes see glimpses of other realities. Particularly, say, when we've moved our attention and our consciousness to a lighter body, further up the chakras, rather than the first three chakras, red, orange and yellow, which are very much linked to the material plane. We might focus on the heart chakra or the brow or violet chakra and experience something different. You could try playing with this by the next time you're meditating, place your attention at the third eye or the heart chakra and just see what you experience, see how different that feels. At the very least, it is fun to play with these ideas, and at best you may experience something that aids in the knowledge that we are not just our physical bodies, but beings of infinite consciousness and part of something greater, connected. This way, we know we are never alone. Now, here's where we can use these ideas to connect and heal one another in a very simple way. At the moment, pretty much all around the world, every single person holds their own perspective as to what's happening right now. They're experiencing through their own perceptual filter, according to their beliefs, knowledge and motivations, and perhaps we can imagine that they're placing their attention at one of these levels. If they were placing their attention and used to seeing the world through the perceptual filter of the red chakra, then they would potentially be in fear, or at least perceiving the world through a language of whether things feel safe or not. If they were perceiving the world through the level of the yellow chakra, power, control and freedom would be considerations for that person as they look around the world. Everything they see would be in terms of whether they feel free, whether they need to maintain a sense of power or control, depending on what they are experiencing, but that is the perceptual filter that they would be looking through, the yellow filter. Each person will argue that their perspective is the correct one and much more pressing at this time. But no matter which viewpoint, inside every one of us right now is a person who is suffering and frightened on some level. In every case, their sense of security is likely to be threatened by what they see unfolding in the world. At the present time, it seems impossible to address the outer challenges, as perspectives are highly charged and lead us back to a state of division. This is no good for anyone. Instead, whatever viewpoint you take, acknowledge that this is a shared suffering and that we need to reach out to one another despite our imagining that their viewpoint differs greatly from our own. I'm going to describe a technique that was taught to me as part of the body mirror system of healing, and this is a simplified version adapted for our needs here. It's a short meditation, so only do this if it's safe for you to do so not when you're driving or operating machinery. Find a quiet place to sit where you won't be disturbed and take 3 deep breaths. First breath. Feel all the tension release from your head and shoulders. Second breath. Let your facial muscles relax. Third deep breath. Let any remaining stress or tension run down your body into the earth, which is always there for your support. healing has helped me many times in my life when I'd reached a point where something needed to change. In 2005, I trained with Martin Brofman to learn the body mirror system of healing, which was life-changing for me. It's based on the idea that the parts of your body that don't work well reflect the parts of your life that don't work well, and about which you have tension in your consciousness. The understanding is that tension is stress, and stress causes symptoms. In a distance healing or in-person session, I move up the chakras, returning each one to wholeness using a colour map. During the process, I see images and situations, I hear words or receive impressions that tell me something about what caused the tension in that person's life. The feedback at the end of the session is a really big part of the healing. If you're interested in a chakra healing session, you can contact me at scarletofthefae@gmail.com. Now imagine you can feel a sensation deep within your chest. See a glowing emerald green ball of energy there. If it's another colour, make a mental note and change it to green. A beautiful, vivid emerald green. Now imagine that you have someone sitting opposite you, maybe a friend or relative that you love dearly. And see that within their chest also is a ball of glowing green emerald energy. And see you both open to this experience as you notice a bridge from your green chakra growing over to theirs until it meets with their chakra, and there's this connection between you. And just feel what that feels like to be connected with that loved one, and thank them. And now see them dissipate, and in their place you now see someone else sitting opposite you. Someone, it may be still a friend or relative, but someone you know that takes a different viewpoint to you about the world right now. Imagine you see a ball of emerald green light glowing within their chest too. If it's another colour, make a mental note and change it to green. And again, intend that you open to this experience. See your own green heart chakra and see them also open to this experience. As you watch a bridge of emerald green reach across to their heart chakra. If there's any resistance there, open yourself further to this experience. Feel that connection between you. Just two human beings doing their best to get through this very difficult time. Send them love from your heart. Feel the level of loving acceptance that can be met between you. Thank them for this experience and see them also dissipate. Feel that sense of love and connection that remains in your heart. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and slowly start to move your body again. So what was that like? Did you notice any resistance? What happened when you felt a connection in both instances? If you noticed a different colour in the heart chakra, you can write and let me know, and I'll tell you what it corresponds to. Each colour represents something different. You can try using this exercise when you're out and about. If you see someone that you might ordinarily feel disconnected to because for whatever reason you imagine they take the opposite viewpoint to you, you can swiftly send them an emerald bridge from your heart and feel an instant sense of connection. More loving connection is what we all need right now, and I've been noticing lately that people seem to be feeling like they're unaccepted for who they truly are for one reason or another. The heart chakra is all about acceptance, and I believe that as a global consciousness, we're currently moving from the solar plexus energies, issues relating to power, control and freedom, to heart chakra energies of love and acceptance. So it's something that I think many of us are going through. It's a rough ride right now, but we will get through this together. We need to remain loving towards one another and consciously connected at a deep level beyond all the chaos on the surface. The chaos and division is an illusion. I hope this has helped. My Patreon group, The Curious Crew, and I are taking part in an online workshop in January to learn how to connect with Fae energies through ritual. If you want to join, please go to patreon.com/the Modern Fairy Sightings Podcast. And I should also mention that I do offer distant healing appointments, so if you are interested in that, you can also contact me and let me know how this was for you at scarletofthefae.com. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at _remain_curious. I'll meet with you again in Series 3. Until then, may you find meaningful peace and rest over the holidays and New Year. It seems more than ever that we need to imagine what a happy, healthy future will look like, and my sense right now is that these other worlds and their inhabitants grow ever closer to us. Maybe we're moving closer to enlightenment. I like to think so. Keep connected, stay loving, be you, and always remain curious.